Hi, I'm Prithvi Raj. In this evaluation of the essay, what I'm going to be doing is my student has sent me an essay to evaluate, and I'm going to be evaluating it and also correcting it at the same time. So I'm going to be improving the essay at the time of evaluation. So I will look at it, I will find the mistakes, I will highlight them, I will replace them with something better so that the score could have improved, and the student will be given this essay back and they will understand where the mistakes have happened and how they can learn from it. Okay, so this is invaluable. This is something invaluable because you understand how exactly an essay is written and how else it can be written. So I would like to stress on this alternative perspective, how else we can write the essay. You wrote it in one particular fashion, that's all right. How else we can write it, that is the most important thing. If you have noticed some kind of grammatical errors that have been left out just as it is, I have done that on purpose. The reason is I do not want to write the essay for the student. What I want to do is to help them understand where they stand. Okay, and if you change too much, it doesn't really remain their essay, it will become my essay. So I don't want to do that. What I wanted to do is to evaluate it, to help them with only 3 points that they can improve, 3 things that they can take home and implement in the next essay. That is the only thing that is the agenda of this entire video, entire evaluation. So I hope you find this useful, and I'm sure you will. Any comments that you have, you can put them in the box below, and I will put them in the comments. And I would like you and urge you to get my assignments, the ones I used to get a 9 in the IELTS. If you want the assignments, you have to just go to prkspeaks.com/IELTS/assignments. That link is in the description, so it shouldn't be a big problem. And let us begin now with the essay evaluation. Hi, I'm Prithvi Raj, and today we are going to be doing task 2 in an IELTS academic writing section. So this is one of my students who has written an essay, and he has sent it to me to review. I'm going to be reviewing it, and I'm going to be showing you how I do it, what are the mistakes he's done, and how you can avoid the same mistakes. Let us get started. Some people say history is one of the most important school subjects. Other people think that in today's world, subjects like science and technology are more important than history. Discuss both these views and give your own opinion. Okay, so let us just understand the topic very quickly. History is one of the subjects. Science and technology is also a subject. Is history more important or is science and technology more important? That is basically the question he's asking. So we need to dumb down the topic to our level so that we can understand what exactly he is saying in the topic. So now you can come up with a clear-cut opinion before you write anything. So if I were you, I would be coming up with an opinion. So in my view, history is important. Okay, that's my view. So so if I were to write an essay, I would probably think in that way. Let us look at what my student has said. Okay, what happened in the past cannot be changed, but we can create the future. Okay, I wish he'd used quotation marks for this for emphasis, and probably attributed it to anonymous. You know, if you don't know whom to credit for the quote, you can just credit it to anonymous because you heard it somewhere and you don't know who said it. History subject in schools helps the students to know about the past. Okay, just 1 second. Actually, I do this way. Learn about the past, how the nation was built. Okay, how the architects were made. I think he's referring to monuments here. Monuments were made, constructed. What are the struggles humans faced earlier? This is exactly the most important point. Okay, the history teaches us about the past, the mistakes that we made in the past, wars, and a lot more. I think it's wars, mistakes, avoid them in addition to a lot more. Okay. Whereas in science and technology, students will be able to know how the technology can be used to ease our lives. No, ease our lives is not really the right way to say it. Can be used to add convene to our lives, and science invents new things to find the unresolved questions and woes. So woes is more of an individual thing, but anyway, let me just look at the whole sentence again. To find answers to the mysteries of the universe. Okay, how does this sound now? Compared to unresolved questions and woes, now we have replaced that with science can help us, or helps us find the answers to the mysteries of the universe. Does that sound better? Yeah, it sounds better. Okay, history classes help kids to understand the rituals. So the introduction is complete. I wish there was a statement which would have been made here. I am of the view that history is a subject of paramount importance, and that under no circumstances should it be set aside to favor any other subject. Okay, now it has been made clear that history is what he thinks is the right thing to do. So history is supposed to be. So he's already made a statement. He's already given an introduction saying that he likes history and he knows why history is important and all of that. Now, with this statement, we have confirmed that notion, that view, and we have sealed the deal. So now we are going to be talking about, I hope he talks about what exactly he was referring to and how history is important. And now he has to justify his view. So now he has stated his view, now he has to justify his view. He has to explain why he thinks history is important and how exactly he's going to do that. Let's look at that. History classes help the kids understand the rituals of the world. No, it's not the kids. It's the future generations. Okay, so this is what you will learn when you're doing the IELTS. You have to use language which is effective, which essentially communicates a lot more. Okay, history classes help the future generations, okay, understand the rituals of the ancient world. For example, when I was in school, our history period we used to listen carefully to the lecture in my history class. History class we. So if he's saying we, he might be referring to his class, his students. So all of us used to listen carefully to the lecture. Okay, capital. All the lessons, so it's all the lessons felt like great stories, all about the way kings ruled countries. Ruled, and at that point there were no countries, so they're kingdoms. Times when wars happened in our cultures, architectural temples, arts, etc. Okay, let me see if I can rephrase the entire sentence. Kings ruled their kingdoms, the reasons why they went to war, and the reasons for their victories or failures in these wars, in addition to the information. No, information is a very vague word. In addition to the information, let me to the reasons why temples and other structures of that time had a certain type of architecture. Okay, our teacher used to say, know your roots before growing up. I would say it's a little tough to understand history. I don't exactly know what he means here when he says, I would say it's a little tough to understand history and how it links to this previous statement. Our teacher used to say, know your roots before growing up. Let us get rid of the statement completely. And instead, we can write there something to the tune of by knowing the history of my people, I find myself belonging to I am able to relate to my past better. Okay, all right, next paragraph, let's look at this. In this generation, science and technology is everywhere, right from our everyday use. Right from our everyday use. Okay. In this generation, science and technology is everywhere. And we use it multiple times a day. Okay, it should be better if we can say this. All right, it impacts our life every single day. And in most cases, multiple times a day. For example, yeah, so that's a good way of saying it. For example, mobile phones, laptops, Wi-Fi, cars, radio, satellites, new inventions, and infinite. Now, infinite is not accurate, and the list goes on. As we are all using the technologicals, no, it is no such word as technologicals. It's technology. As we are all using technology, students are able to understand it easily and help them become more future oriented. In India, a lot of schools conduct science fairs to make the students understand the subject practically, and they would get an interest to create some new things. Okay, so he's talked about the importance of technology in this particular essay, in this particular paragraph. Now, since he's already stated in the beginning that history is important, so you would have to say something to make it such that history is more important than science, either here or in the next paragraph. Science has different streams in it: biology, physics, chemistry, zoology. These subjects can help for future generations. Parents and teachers create a strong attraction towards science and technology for students. Okay, this is another paragraph, but it has not added anything much. Let us look at the conclusion. To conclude, you cannot say just this, and you cannot use, okay, it's a subject's name, so okay. I would opine that history helps us understand how the world functioned till now, but science and technology uses information of history and makes it even more interesting and provides support for the future generations. Okay, yes, we can see that history is one of the most important, but science and technology has the first priority. Okay, so after all this, so after the beginning, where he talks about, or I at least assumed that history is what he's supporting, the view that history is important. Okay, but at the end, I find out that he is not supporting history. He is in fact saying that science and technology is more important than history. Okay, so okay, let us then rewrite the essay a little bit. Let's do a little bit of tweaking. While history helps us understand the world, how the world functioned till now. Now, in the past, science and technology uses history and makes it even more interesting. I don't know what exactly that means. How does it make it even more interesting? And provide support okay, 1 second, to build for the future. Therefore, we can say, small v and w, can say that history is one of the most important subjects in school, but science and technology takes precedence. I'm not sure if I'm using the word correctly. Takes precedence. I don't know if that is correct, but I'm going to use it anyway. I think it is right. So I just want to confirm here that even though I'm an IELTS coach and I got a 9 in the IELTS, doesn't mean that I know all words of the English language, alright? These subjects can help future generations. Okay, so now that we've edited the essay, let's look at some of the places where we can go ahead and add some value. Okay, these subjects can help the future generations. It is crucial that we teach our children the future, the subjects that help, that equip them build the future. Okay. So let us change this, which he said. I am of the view that history is a subject of paramount importance. However, I would suggest that building for the future is more important than digging up the past. Okay. All right. Okay. Now let us try to score this. Okay. Feedback. Good beginning. Have used a quote attributing it to someone or anonymous. If you cannot remember the first, is a good practice. Okay. First thing. Next, the quote could be interpreted in multiple ways. It did not really signify what you stood for. Therefore, it added to some confusion. Okay. taking on any view, you must seafariously defend your view. Must essentially sell the person on the view in such a way that people do not question whether you are right. They just assume they should not be able to make any other case. Okay, so what exactly do I mean here? So what I'm referring to is the introduction. So in the introduction, he has not given any clear statement in the beginning, if you remember. So without the clear statement, so he's mentioned the quote, then he's mentioned one line about history, and then mentioned one line about science and technology. But he did not mention any view. So we have added a view. So I originally thought that he was saying history is good, and later at the end, I see that he says history is can be set aside for science and technology. So what does this mean? So what it means is, in the beginning itself, you must declare your view. You must say that I believe this is the case, or I believe that is the case. Or you can also say your view can also be, in this essay I will discuss both views and give my own opinion at the end. So you can say one of these three things. You can either take one stand already, or you can take a view that says I will give my decision in the conclusion. Okay. My particular approach is that I make my stand clear very upfront, because it really helps you believe what exactly is happening. Even if, let us suppose, you believe science and technology is the good thing, or you believe history is the good thing. So the topic says we must discuss both views and give your own opinion. Okay. So when you say discuss both views, I have to discuss both views. That's not a choice. It's not a choice given to me by the topic itself. So I'm not afforded that choice. I have to discuss both views, but I can have my own opinion in the beginning itself, and that would help me give better reasons. Okay. For example, so he says science and technology is important. Okay. If it's science and technology is important, I would have preferred an example about science and technology. Okay. So let us give you an example. I would have to see more examples about science and technology, such as how mobile phones have transformed our communications. In my childhood, people used to have landline phones where you could make only calls. Today, with these devices called smartphones, okay, smartphone, every aspect of our life has been simplified. Okay, so this is an example. I have taken as example. I said that every aspect of our lives has been simplified. For example, let us say that you're ordering food or you're getting a cab. Now you have there's no more need to explain the address and all that. The address already comes in because of the GPS in your phone. Or perhaps to say that the people who are doing the deliveries, they also find it far more convenient. They can go to a new place and immediately they are able to figure out where exactly to go without having known the place before. Okay, so this is an example. If you believe that science technology is important, you need to back up your view. You need to say why it's important, and you need to make the other person believe it. So if you say it, let us say here, it says, okay, in this generation, science and technology impacts our lives in every single day, and in most cases, multiple times a day. For example, mobile phone, laptops, Wi-Fi, cars, radio, satellites, all this. Okay. Instead of, that line is good. The next line could have been, a personal example of mine has been how this particular technology transformed my father's business. Okay, he now gets a lot of business through WhatsApp. Okay, this could be an example. He now gets a lot of business through the internet, which he could not get before. Earlier, he had to only cater to the people who are in his city, and today we have orders from across the country and even the globe. Okay, so this is an example. If you think technology is important, you must give reasons why technology is important. Okay. Now, another view. Let us take the view of history. You could have mentioned something about history, wherein you could have said, by learning history, we get to know what people have done in the past and what they are likely to do in the future. So if somebody has done something in the past, for example, the British, they came to India and they invaded India. That is an example of my country. So if you have some other example, you can use that. So they didn't come directly with to colonize the country. What they came for was to trade. They wanted to do business, and eventually they colonized the country and started using the locals as slaves. So I don't know what the locals were thinking, but apparently because of the technology, whatever they had, they were able to pull things off, and people accepted. Okay, so that is something that is important. Now look at the score. Is there anything else to add here? Yeah, I think one thing is that I originally felt that you were supporting history, and later when you stated that you were supporting sciences, I was surprised. I would suggest that you state your view in the intro itself. Score. Okay. What kind of score can this get? So task achievement. What do you do in task achievement? TA. 6. Lexical cohesion and cohesive devices have been used. I don't think cohesive devices have been used appropriately enough. 5. Lexical. Lexical is about the vocabulary you use. I think it's 5. Grammar. Okay, I'll give it a 6. Overall, 5.5. Okay. Thank you all for watching. If you have questions, kindly post them in the comments so that I can get back to you. If you don't understand something that I did or why I did it, or if I made some mistake, please do let me know. Thank you for your time.